all gone. Hey guys, I don't even know what time it is. It's raining, it's Sunday. Yesterday evening was a lot of fun. Maybe a bit too much of beer and shots and also cocktails. Despite all of the drinking, I feel super good. No hangover, no headache. Tschüss. Schönen Sonntag, ciao. Vanessa had maybe 1 or 2 shots too much, so she's not feeling that good. I got her some salted sticks and a big bottle of Coke. You know, actually every time I'm hungover, I'm doing a hangover story time. It would be fun today to do a Vanessa hangover story time, but I'm pretty sure she's not up for that. So we'll have to figure out something else to do today. Let's do something instead I haven't done in a while, and that is the next edition of track submits. But first, taking care of Vanessa. Okay, got my MacBook, got my headphones. Time to check out your new track submissions. I will choose one again randomly. We have this time 50 track submits. That's crazy. Lucky number 49, so it's one of the very new submits. The first track will be by Varun. He has a track that is called Another World. He just finished it today and the email is from today, so super fresh track. Let's give it a quick listen. That's a cool EDM track with chopped up vocals and a synth sound on top. I think the mixing is quite good. The balance between kick and bass is right on point. The only thing mixing wise that I don't like is the main synthesizer. It could sound a little bit more interesting, maybe layering it, using way more sidechaining on it to give it the pumping feel that is super typical for EDM. And I think it would be better to have the main synth 1 octave lower, and if you still want to have the higher frequencies, maybe layer it with another one that has these informations, because it sits a little bit too high in the mix. Let me show you 2 parts of the track just as an example. Here at the end part where you don't have the main synthesizer in the track, it sounds really nice and balanced. If I now go to a point with the main synth, you can see it sits a little bit high in the mix from the frequencies, and it's also a bit too loud. I'd like to see it more in the middle where the main synth really belongs. There's also a cool synth sound here at the beginning that I'd like to hear at another point in the track. I think it's really cool. Yeah, and this is a bit too much. It's a little bit too loud. All in all, a super cool track. Just try to get the main synth to sit better in the mix, and you have a track that is ready for release. So let's do another one. The next one is by Ishwar. He sent me another track. The link expired. Let's just pick another one. Next one is by Marvin, aka Morpheus. The track is called Runaway, and he wants some general advice for mixing.
Still will go. So run away, you only have
Also a very nice track, very unique. I like the style. The mixing is really good, maybe a little bit too much in the mid frequencies, especially when you have the chopped up vocals and the synthes going on with the pad at the same time. I would also try out to raise the kick a little bit to have a bit more punch in the low end. At the moment it's just the sub bass that has these long sustained notes, which is nice, but it would be cool to have a bit of variance with the kick coming in a bit stronger. So all in all, a really good track. Like, another general advice for mixing on this one would be to try to carve out a bit more space for the chopped up pitched vocals and for the main vocals. It's almost getting a little bit too crowded. It's still okay, but for me it sounds a bit too full. It would be nice to have maybe one part where the vocals are really the focus, where everything else is going away a bit more than you already did. Same for the chopped up vocals, and also maybe having just a synthy part so that the entire track also gets a bit more contrast and gets more interesting. But as it is, it's already worth to be released. These are already very picky and advanced tips that might help to improve the track. The next email is unfortunately not a track submit. I will delete it. Please, if you have any questions, just leave a comment down below. I try to answer all of them 2 to 3 times a week, and someone else might have the same question and will be able to read the answer. So please only use the track submit email for track submits. The next one is number 34. I have to count all the way up to 34. I can just go 30 and down from the top. Okay, the next one is from Victor. I won't even try to pronounce the last name. He sent me an instrumental. He already played it to friends and he realized that there's something missing, or he's just being too harsh with his own track, because he played it already a million times. I definitely know this feeling. Every time I'm working too long on a new track, I completely lose the distance to really see it like someone that is listening to it for the first time. So I just leave the track, don't work on it for an entire week, and then go back into the final details and also get feedback from other producers. This track is definitely missing something. It is the main theme, the main topic, the main melody. So far everything you have in the track is a backing, and you need a main synthesizer, a main guitar or a saxophone, or just someone singing to make this track complete. The mixing is quite alright. I also like the drums. You could add more effects, more automation to get more movement and excitement. Also try to have more variance between the verse parts and the chorus parts. At the moment they're a bit too similar. I would really suggest you to pick a track that you like, drag it into your DAW and really compare what is happening in which part, how many elements are there, what could you do in your track to improve it, how different are the verses and the choruses in other tracks, and just try to adapt to that and improve your track. 5 Minuten, perfect. Okay, Vanessa's feeling good again. She started making dinner. I have 5 more minutes. This should be enough for the last track for today. Lucky number 35. The next one is by Florian and is called Summer Night. His main problem with it is mixing bass and kick. This is actually a cool tropical house track with a strong main theme. The situation between the kick and bass is really a bit weird, to be honest. I can't actually really hear a bass. There's just one fat big kick. I think you might layer the kick with a bass underneath, which isn't really something that is typical for tropical house. You might be able to do it in EDM, but this type of music really needs a bass that is playing a melody, either sustained notes or something groovy that is playing along the chord structure. I think this track could improve a lot if you get another kick. If you don't really have good samples, just sample a kick from one of your favorite artists. This will make it way easier to mix the track, and play in a real bass. I think if you do these two things, it will be way easier to mix the bass and the kick. You just need to EQ them, separate them a bit, use a bit of side chaining, and it should be all fine. Vanessa already called me, dinner is ready, it smells amazing in here. I hope you enjoyed today's edition of Track Submits. If you want to send me your tracks, the email address is down below in the description. Also feel free to give feedback to the 4 tracks that I played you today. Would be really nice to know what you think about them and what you think could be improved on these tracks. Now, time for dinner. You see, that's how far Vanessa got yesterday. Her coat is still laying right in front of the door.